What's up, y'all? It's time for Mo Jiu-Jitsu. Today we're going to work, again, pulling guard versus a kneeling opponent. When I pull guard, my opponent's in kneeling position. Oftentimes, I like to give them the single leg. I feel as if having proper single leg defense will help you either in the standing wrestling situations or even the wrestling that happens down on the mat. So if I'm in a situation like this, I give him the lead leg. I go collar tie, right? Typical heist up. And as I go heist up, he starts attacking the single leg. The second he gets attached here, I'm like, oh, perfect. Now it's time to defend the single leg and sweep my opponent. I'll shoot left hand deep as a wizard, and I'll lace it over my thigh. I now will use this wizard to bring his head lower down towards the mat and have the preference of circling my leg towards the outside. As I do so, I'll step to get parallel with my opponent looking in the same direction. From here, oftentimes he starts to build height. And as he builds height, I notice how close his feet are. So I can use this wizard to, again, bring his head lower and then push him backwards as I cup a heel and put him down towards the mat. So we're going from a situation where I'm pulling guard and essentially I'm baiting him, right? Look at the best fighters, athletes. Typically, they give their opponent a little bit and then they take a lot, right? Almost giving them false hope. So that's exactly what I'm doing with the single leg. Giving my opponent the single leg, giving him some false hope. That way I can use it towards my advantage. Give an inch, take a mile. My opponent's in front of me. I'm in the typical heisting situation. He's leaning forward. I'm going collar tie. As I heist up, he starts attacking the single leg. I'm like, boom, perfect. I'll take my left hand through to a wizard, lace it over my thigh. I'll lean so I can get this. I rotate my lead leg around the outside, and I'll hop on the mat so I can get parallel with my opponent facing the same direction. Simultaneously, as he's building height, I allow him to build height slightly, and then I'll pull his head down closer towards the mat. From here, I'll start pushing him towards him and start picking the near ankle. And realistically, you can go either near ankle or even far ankle. But either way, we're becoming offensive from a once defensive posture. My opponent's attacking single leg. I'm sorry, I'm pulling guard. I have collar tie. I start heisting up. He attacks single leg and starts building height. As he does so, I rotate leg to the outside, and I jump, become parallel. I use this wizard to pull his head down, and as he pulls back up, boom, I start pressuring towards him and picking the ankle. Let's give a couple reps of this. There we go. So once again, a bit more description. Pulling guard in front of my opponent, I'm looking to heist up. I go collar tie, pulls behind me. As I build height, he attacks a single leg. While he starts building height, I go wizard and rotate my leg towards the outside. He continues to build height as I get parallel. While I get parallel, I use the wizard to bring the head low. He attempts to pull his head up. As he does so, I transition into pushing and scooping the near ankle and putting my opponent right back down towards the mat where I want him to be. Again, winning the battle for hip height. Now, a very similar sequence. Same scenario. Collar tie, heisting up. As I heist up, opponent attacks single leg. I go wizard, bring the leg to the outside as he builds height. While he builds height, I'm leaning, I'm trying to scoop this ankle, but he backsteps. I then transition to the secondary ankle and put him down towards the mat pretty easily. This works at the highest level. I've done this with Olympic level wrestlers and jiu-jitsu world champions. So faking one, going the other, or just committing to one is beneficial. In addition, recognizing what ankle you can actually reach. So again, pulling guard against a kneeling opponent. Collar tie, heisting. As I heist, opponent attacks single leg. I go wizard as he builds height, rotate leg to the outside, and I get parallel. As I attempt to get parallel, I go for the near ankle, but he backsteps, so I continue that momentum through to the secondary heel, pushing him on through. So similar to where I was using the collar tie to push the head over knee, I'm now using the pressure from the wizard to push him over and scoop the heel. So ankle picking in from various ways, very beneficial. Either the standard push the head over ankle pick, or using the wizard to push the head over the knee, and then we're picking the either near leg or the far leg. So a few more reps of this guy. Faking one, going for the other. Start heisting up, he goes for single leg. I go wizard and side on as he builds height. I go for the near foot, he backsteps, boom, secondary foot. Build height. Again, while I'm doing this, make sure my toes are dug into the mat so I can drive off the mat. I can get proper pressure in order to put my opponent down towards the mat. So yet again, using the heisting position towards our advantage. As I heist up, opponent decides to attack single leg. When he does so, I can start the wrestling sequence, right? I can start defending the single leg as you would defend a single leg from standing, right? This technique is very similar to ankle picking from a standing position. So my opponent gets single leg from standing, rotate leg to the outside, and boom, I'm stepping it parallel, bring the head down, and as he builds up, I'm picking here or picking there. Same thing, except being on the knees. And I'm enticing this situation. I'm starting it from my guard pull, from my butt. So I have a guy that I know he's a wrestler, or most athletes, if you give them the single leg, they will use it to try to score to their benefit. So you can bait them with that. Give them a little bit, take a lot. You give them the single leg, we can take the ankle pick. So regardless if you're picking the near leg or the far ankle, it will work as long as you get your wizard in the proper position. Use the wizard, step, circle to get parallel facing the same direction. As you bring the head low, they will in turn want to bring the head high. So as they bring the head high, it unweights their foot, making it easy for you to pick this one or that one. So picking both ankles from a heisting position. Enjoy the progress. Let's get better together.